Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Luxor. We gotta save Issus. So, let's do it. Now, if you hear something in the background, it is raining. It's not like a monsoon, but we got a pretty good waterfall going here. You know what they say, the June showers, there won't be any fires in July. So how are all of you guys doing today? You guys doing good? I hope so. Hope you guys are happy. Hope you guys are healthy. I hope everyone's having a great day today. And that there's good vibes all around. So I got another burrito horn story for you. Now, this one is not that shocking, but I still want to talk about it. We had a drunk guy in the restaurant. Now, drunk people and high people at Burrito Horn are really nothing new. That happens all the time. Now, the thing about the high people, very rarely do they cause problems. Like, very rarely do they cuss us out or yell at us or give us a hard time. Their thing is they're really slow. So they come in the drive-thru, and like 90% of people, they don't know what they want to order. It's like, oh yeah, just give me a minute. 2 minutes go by. I ask them if they need help. I'm like, oh no, we just need a couple more minutes. I remember one time, it took 4 minutes for 2 people to order a Mexican pizza. Now, we get timed, and the managers get bonuses if the average drive-thru time is below a certain point for a period. And if it's too high, then we get yelled at. So even though he wasn't holding anybody up in line, he's still running the timer up. And another time, someone was high. Now, thankfully, they knew what they wanted, and it wasn't a big order. But then they couldn't find the gas pedal. The time it took him to drive to the speaker, to the window, we had his whole order ready, and we waited about a whole minute. Now, sometimes what I'll do, if someone's taking their sweet time driving to the window, I'll stick my head out the window and look at the car, and they usually get the hint and they drive up. This guy, I think he was on Jupiter or something. I did that, he didn't pull up. And then he comes in like a Zamboni, just chilling in the drive-thru. So yeah, even though they're slow, the high people are always better. I always prefer marijuana over alcohol. Well, not consuming it, but people that have consumed it. Because the drunk people, not only are they slow, but they're also berative. They're a lot more likely to give you a hard time, or yell at you, or be disruptive. If you've ever seen what alcohol does to people, you know what I'm talking about. So this guy comes into our store, and he is stumbling all over the place, like something out of The Walking Dead. Or maybe he's looking for a plant to munch on? I don't know. I half expected him to start shouting for brains. So we have 2 doors to the dining room. We have the main front doors, and we have a side door. He comes in the side door, and I'd say it's about 40, 50 feet from that side door to the front counter. Now normally, a sober person, from the door to the counter, it would take about 5 to 10 seconds to walk up there. It took this guy like 3 minutes. Now, I knew he was going to order, so I was trying not to go too far away. But I didn't want to just keep standing there, so I was like stocking the cups. And eventually I just started pretending to do stuff, so I wasn't just staring at him. So he comes stumbling in. Can barely stand, stumbling up to the counter, and he finally makes it. And he starts mumbling under his breath. He goes, pizza. And it also looks like he's about to fall asleep. Looks like he can barely stay awake. Like he's gonna start taking a nap in the booth or something. So here, me pizza, three taco. So I get his order, I ring him up, and it takes him about 90 seconds to reach into his pocket. It's like his hand is having trouble finding the pocket, because he keeps stabbing his thigh with his fingers. He keeps missing the pocket, like he's trying to hit a target. Finally, he gets his hand in his pocket, and he takes out some gum. And I was gonna say something, but then I thought about it, and I thought, A, you know, he's pretty unresponsive at the time, so I don't know if he's gonna respond to me telling him that that's gum. And B, I kind of want to see how this plays out. He opens the gum box, and he takes out one of the pieces of gum, and he starts to put it up to the machine, and he almost touches the machine with the piece of gum, and I think he realized his mistake, because he goes, oh. And then it's like he's moving in slow motion, too. He puts the gum back in the box, puts the gum back in his pocket, and then takes out his wallet, and then he pays with his card. So, we get the food, we get him his food, and he immediately starts eating over the counter, and cheese and lettuce is spilling everywhere. Now, the counter is where we hand out everybody's food, so I would argue that it's pretty unsanitary to be eating by where we put the food out. So the manager that was on duty at the time, she walks up and she goes, oh, do you need any sauce? Do you need any help with anything? And he goes, no. And she didn't raise her voice, she didn't swear, she didn't kick him out. All she said, she politely asked if he could sit at one of the tables, so that way he wasn't eating over the counter. Because like I said earlier, that's where we hand food out, so it's pretty unsanitary to be, like, making a mess over there. So she just politely asks if he can go to a table. And then this guy, he wakes up, he gets all lively, and he goes, are you always like this? Are you always this rude? And then she's like, oh, you know, I'm sorry, you know, have a good one, sorry about that. And then he starts storming off to the table, and he goes, you know, maybe if you were nicer, you'd have a husband. So that came out of nowhere. Well, if he wasn't drunk in public, maybe he'd have a wife, you know? Works both ways. So then he throws a little tantrum and he storms off to the table. And I think he actually did fall asleep. He took a 30-minute nap. And then he woke up and he walked out. But then, after he left, I was watching out the window. There was this old lady on the sidewalk carrying a suitcase. And it looks like the guy is bothering this lady. He's walking up to her, and I can tell that he's talking to her, but I don't know what they're saying. But the old lady looks annoyed, because this drunk guy just came up and tried to start a conversation that she probably wants nothing to do with. Then it goes on for like 5 minutes. She's trying to get around him, and he's blocking her, still trying to talk to her. We almost went out there and did something, but eventually he walked off. Now, I'm not sure what an old lady with a suitcase was doing on a sidewalk at 1 in the morning. But still, felt bad that she had to deal with that guy. Hope she's doing alright. Hope she's making it. So, I had a little bit of a reunion recently, also at Burrito Horn. So, one of the dashers that delivers food from our Burrito Horn was a girl that I used to go to school with. Now, I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but I went to 3 high schools. So, from my childhood up until about 2015, I was living in one town. And then I moved to Joliet for 1 year. And then I've been living where I am now since about 2016-ish. So this girl I used to go to school with, I'm like, oh, hey, how you doing? So then we started chatting on Facebook Messenger, because we both had Facebook. And basically we just start catching up, saying what's happening in our lives, this and that. And then mid-conversation, while we're shooting the breeze, she goes, so, by the way, do you, like, believe in demons and stuff? And I'm like, oh boy, here we go. Now, I'm an atheist. I do not believe in any higher power or gods or anything like that. I believe that you are responsible for you, and the choices that you make is going to determine how your future is going to go. That's all in your hands. And also, I feel like we're all born with a sense of, like, right and wrong. Like, I don't need to be told that, like, hey, it's bad to kill people. You know what I'm trying to say? Now, some people have it worse than others, and some people let that shape them and they become bad people. Or some people, you know, they go, yeah, the situation's bad, but I'm going to keep trying. So ultimately, your choices and your actions and what you do determines your life, not somebody in the sky. That's just my opinion. If you disagree, that's totally fine. I'm not here to debate anybody, but that's just my stance. Anyway, so that's why I tell her, and she's like, oh, but I've been exploring abandoned buildings. It's real, I can show you, and this and that. So I kind of humor her a little bit. I'm like, oh, yeah, there might be something out there. But it just came completely out of left field. I don't know where that came from. Definitely one of the more interesting convos I've had. We still talk a little bit to this day. She's out there on the grind on DoorDash. Apparently it's 20 bucks an hour, so eventually I might want to do that as like a little side hustle. Or maybe this could be my side hustle one day. Now, real quick, I don't do this often, but if you are enjoying my videos, please subscribe and hit the bell so you get notified whenever I make a new video. I try to get one video out per day. I usually upload between 2:30 and 3:30-ish. I try to be consistent. I do hope you guys are enjoying my videos. I hope I'm making at least someone's day better. You know, they're probably working a crappy job. They get a 30-minute break. Giving someone the 30 minutes of bliss. Because before I started making YouTube videos, YouTube was kind of an escape. Like, I could sort of put the world on pause for a little bit and watch some videos. So hopefully I'm giving that to somebody. Now, I can use her real name because she no longer works at our store, she quit. But this girl, Brianna, we hired her. And the first thing about Brianna is she self-identifies as a troll. Not like a literal creature, not like, you know, if they go in the sun, they turn to stone. The troll as in like the prankster, the haha, look, I got you. You got pranked, bro. So yeah, that's the kind of troll that she self-identified as. Sorry about that, this happens sometimes. I'll be talking, and I just kind of lose my train of thought, and then I go blank for a second. Anyway, so for the most part, she was good, but she would take a lot of quote-unquote bathroom breaks, and I found out later that she was just smoking in the bathroom. And it would always be during the rushes, too. Like, we'll be getting a lot of customers. I got tapped my shoulder. She was, Matt, I gotta go to the bathroom. Can you cover? So I'm like, oh, okay. And like 5 times per shift, like 5 times in a 5-hour shift. She's like, man, I gotta go take a shit. Can you cover? And then someone figured out what she was doing, but we didn't really stop her, because I don't know if anybody talked to her about it or not. Now, I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt and assume that it was an accident and she meant to poke me in the back. But one time I was doing dishes and she walks by and she pokes me in the ass. Now, like I said, it might have been an accident, but you never know. Now, the most memorable thing that Brianna did was this. And it's not memorable for any good reason. So we run out of hot sauce, and she asks where we keep more hot sauce at. And I'm gonna show her where we keep the hot sauce at. So everything comes in boxes, and you have to use a box cutter to open them, because they're all taped up. So I grab the box of hot sauce, and I set it on the counter, and she goes, oh, how do you open this? And I'm about to get a box cutter, and I'm about to show her how to use it. And she goes, no, I got it. And she reaches into her pocket, and she pulls out this pretty good sized switchblade. Now, at Burrito Porn, you are not allowed to carry self-defense items on your person. You can have them like in a bag or in a separate area, but not on you. So I didn't know if she carried that around. And I think she was trying to be funny, but she starts like waving it around wildly in the air. Like she starts treating it like a lightsaber. It's like, ooh yeah, look at this. And it just like gets close to me and it's like tries to do tricks with it. Like, hey Matt, check this out. And then starts like twirling it. Now, I was not expecting that. I was like, oh, okay, she's waving a knife everywhere. That's okay. Not gonna lie, I was a little freaked out by that. And then, about a few weeks before she quit, I was in the lobby and I hear running footsteps behind me. And, like, she's all out of breath because she was running. And she puts both her hands on my shoulders and she goes, Matt, I gotta tell you something, but you can't tell anybody, okay? And she goes, I'm gonna be moving towns. I can't work here no more. So, I'm gonna be leaving in 3 weeks, don't tell anybody. But she also told some of the managers, so I don't know why she bothered telling me to keep it a secret. Didn't really make any sense. So yeah, Brianna came and Brianna went. And who knows where she's at now. She might still be at large. Alright. Let's squish some bugs. I know the point of this level is you're supposed to catch the gems and get a high score, but it's more fun at just trying to kill as many bugs as possible. Ooh. I wonder if different colored gems in real life are worth more than other colored gems. Like, usually the diamonds we think of are blue, like sapphires, but like, what about like a silver crystal? Would that be worth more? Well, that's gonna do it for today. As always, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Now everybody, just do me a little favor. Have yourselves a great day.